Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Aman Singh. I am here along with my group members to present case analysis on the India's biggest corporate accounting scandal at Satyam Computer Service Limited. Please change the slide, Taj. Ironically, Satyam means truth in the ancient Indian language Sanskrit. Satyam Computer Services Limited was a rising star in Indian outsourced IT service industry. The company was formed in 1987 in Hyderabad, India by Mr. Ramalinga Raju. The firm began with 20 employees and grew rapidly as a global business. Its offer IT and business process outsourcing (BPO) services spanning various sectors. Satyam was an example of India's growing success from being India's IT crown jewel and the country's fourth largest company with high-profile customers. The outsourcing firm Satyam Computers has become embroiled in the nation's biggest corporate scam in the living memories. Mr. Ramalinga Raju, chairman and the founder of Satyam, who has been arrested and has confessed to 7,800 crore fraud, admitted that he had made up profits for years. According to reports, Raju and his brother P. Rama Raju, who was the managing director, hide the deception from the company's board, senior managers, and the auditors. The case of the Satyam's accounting fraud has been dubbed as India's Enron. Unlike Enron, which sank due to agency problem, Satyam was brought to its knee due to tunneling. In order to evaluate and understand the severity of the Satyam fraud, it is important to understand the factor that contributes to the unethical decision made by the company's executives. Satyam won numerous awards for innovation, governance, and the corporate accountability. On April 14, 2008, Satyam won award from MZ Consults for being a leader in India in CEO and accountability. By 2030, Satyam's IT service businesses include 13,120 technical associates servicing over 300 customers worldwide. At that time, the worldwide IT service market was estimated to nearly about $400 billion, with an estimated annual compound growth rate of 6.4%. The market major driver at that point in the time were increased importance of the IT service to the business worldwide, the impact of the internet on e-business, the emergency of the high-quality IT service industry in India and their methodologies, and the growing need of the IT service provider who could prove a range of service. To effectively compete with both against domestic and the global competitors, the company embarked on a varieties of multi-pronged business growth strategies. From 2003 to 2008, in nearly all financial metrics of interest to investors, the companies grow measurably. Satyam generated 467 million US dollar in total sale. By March 2008, the company had grown to 2.1 billion US dollar. The company demonstrated an annual compound growth rate of 35% over that period. Operating profit averaged 21%. Earning per share similarly grew from S0.12 to S0.62 at a compound annual growth rate of 40%. Over the same period, from 2003 to 2009, the company was trading at an average trailing EBITDA multiple of 15.36. Finally, beginning in January 2003, at share price of 138.08 Indian rupees, Satyam's stocks would peak at 526.25 Indian rupees, 300% improvement in share price after nearly 5 years. Satyam clearly generated significant corporate growth and shareholder values. The company was a leading star and recognizable name in the global IT marketplace. The external environment in which Satyam operated was indeed beneficial to the company's growth, but the number did not present the full picture. Mr. Ramalinga Raju claimed that he did it because every year he was fudging revenue figure, and since expenditures figure could not fudge so easily, the gap between the actual profit and the book profit got widened every year. And at last, greed for money, power, competition, success caused Raju to ride the tiger, which led to violation of all duties imposed on them as the duty of the care, duty of negligence, and duty of loyalty, duty of disclosure toward the stakeholder. That's all from my side. Now Meghna will continue with the further slide.
मेघना म्यूट है.
Meghna?
Sorry, sorry, sorry.
Satyam Computer Services Limited was a leading global consultant and information technology service provider. Satyam has won many awards for innovation, governance, and corporate accountability. In the year 2007 and 2009, Satyam won the Golden Peacock Award for the Best Governed Company. In the year 2007, Mr. Raju was declared as the Entrepreneur of the Year in a worldwide series of awards by the consultant firm Ernst and Young. In April 2008, Satyam won the award from the MZ Consultants for being a leader in India in corporate governance and accountability. In September 2008, the World Council for Corporate Governance awarded Satyam with the Global Peacock Award for Global Excellence in Corporate Accountability. Within the hours of Satyam's chairman Ramalinga Raju resigned from the board by saying that board by admitting that he has been falsifying the accounts and assets of the company. The UK based World Council took the decision to take back its highest honor from the Satyam Group, which was the Best Own Award of the Satyam Services. Now over to Vishal.
Okay. Now here's the timeline of Satyam Computers. On the Satyam Computer launched on 24 June 1987. The chairman of Satyam Computer is Ramalinga Raju, and it deals in IT sector, and it is launched in Hyderabad. In 1991, Satyam debuts in Stock Bombay Exchange. In the year 1991, Satyam Computer listed in the Bombay Stock Exchange. IPO oversubscribed 17 times. 2001 revenue crosses $1 billion. In the year 2001, the revenue of Satyam Computer crosses $1 billion, and after that, in just 7 years, the revenue of Satyam Computer crosses 2 billions in the year 2008. Now next, 16 December, Satyam Computer announces to buy Mythos. On 16 December 2008, the chairman of Satyam Computers, Ramalinga Raju, announces that he is buying two companies, which is Mythos Properties and Mythos Infra, which is owned by his own son. On next 23 December, World Bank banned Satyam Computers. On 23 December, the World Bank banned the Satyam Computer for business to malpractices, and also penalty was charged on Satyam Computers. Next, 25th December, Satyam demand for apology. On 25th December 2008, the Satyam demands the apology from the World Bank for these statements. Next, 26th December, independent director resigns. On 26th December 2008, Mangalam Srinivasana resigns the Satyam Computers, which is the independent director of Satyam Computers. Next, 28th December. On 28th December, the three more directors quit the Satyam Computers, and meeting was postponed by Satyam Computers, and also Merrill Lynch was appointed to enhance the strategies to enhance the shareholder value. Now 2009, 2nd Jan promoters tax. On 2nd Jan 2009, the promoters tax of Satyam Computer falls from 8.64% to 5.13%. 7th Jan Ramalinga confession. On 7th Jan 2009, Ramalinga Raju resigns and confess about the false of balance sheet about the bank and cash. 11th Jan install three new directors. On 11th Jan 2009, the three new directors were installed in the Satyam Computers. Next, 12th Jan holds the press conference. Now, on 12th Jan 2009, the new board members of the Satyam Computers hold the press conference for funding for the business. Now, next, Priyal will continue.
Thank you, Vishal. Good morning. So here I will going to talk to Satyam scandal, Indian biggest corporate scam. As Satyam scandal is a nation biggest corporate scam till date, it is an accounting fraud done by Mr. Ramlingam Raju by manipulating the company account, through which he have committed a fraud of $1.0 billion and earned profit by using that. If we talk about why it called Indian enroll, Satyam Computer is also known as Indian version of Enron. Enron scandal is a scandal, corporate scandal. It is also the biggest scandal of American energy company. That's why it is compared to Indian scandal, because Satyam also falsified the accounts of Satyam Computers. Now the confession, Raju's confession. On 7th January 1999, Raju has confessed by writing a letter to their board member. In that letter, he has written that he has manipulating the company's financial account by overstated the asset and underreported the liability. He also quoted the letter by writing a quote that it was like riding a tiger, not knowing how to get off it without being eaten. By this quote, he want to describe describe his scandal or a Satyam computer, that as he had done the manipulation, now he is in the situation that how to overcome that balance sheet gap without knowing the company member. Here, why Mr. Raju takes such a step? Because he want to show the company in a good health so that he can attract maximum shareholder to invest in their company. Now, you method used to manipulate the account. As Raju used number of method to manipulate the account using his personal computer, he has created several bank account which are not exist in reality. He has created 6,000 salary accounts, also created fake invoices, and after that inflated also. Now failed to attempt Maithas acquisition, as he was planning to buy Maithas property and Maithas infrastructure, and he has, which was owned by his own family member, and he has taken permission from the five independent director. Within 12 hours, all the investor opposed, and one of the US investor filed the complaint against Satyam. This was the last option of Raju to fill the gap. Now he is left with no other option other than confession. Now, the last point is ethical approach to the case. This case is a classical case of negligence of fiduciary duty, a lack of corporate social responsibility. It is a human greed that lead to desire to do a fraud, that they wanted to meet the duties, or also convince the shareholder to invest more in their company. Now here you can see that the graph, it is decreasing year by year. Before understanding this graph, I would like you to understand who are the promoter shareholders. Promoter shareholders are the part of company because they are also invest in the company, and they are the internal person who know everything about the company, and they know what will be the future of the company. As manipulation starts from 1999, so somehow promoter shareholder are also understanding that there are something wrong going in the company. That's why they are starting withdrawal their shares year by year. Now Meghna will continue. Next slide. Thank you.
Thank you, Priyal. So, as Mr. Raju had no other way out but to come clean, he finally confessed about fudging the accounts of the company. The figure given in the slide is the fabricated balance sheet and income statement of the Satyam as of September 30th, 2008. In the dramatic letter released on January 7, 2009 by Mr. Raju, he confessed that he has been manipulating the company's accounting numbers with the inflated cash balances, fake interest proceeds, and overstated revenues. Satyam's top management simply cooked up the books of the accounts by overstating its revenue, profit margins, operating profits, ghost employees, etc. He admitted to inflate the cash and bank balances of the company with rupees 2040 crore. Satyam basically had the cash balance of rupees 321 crore. As fake cash was brought into the account, it was needed to be invested somewhere. So it led to the creation of fake bank accounts, and the balance sheet carries an accrued interest of rupees 376 crore, which was non-existent. The liabilities of the companies were also were understated to show more profit to the investors. In order to record the sales, Raju introduced fake invoices. Therefore, the company keep on inflating the money due from its clients, who did not existed. Once the fake sales were recorded, the fake profits were also made up and were reported in the balance sheet. The actual revenue for the quarter two of the financial year 2009 was rupees 2112 crore with the operating profit of rupees 61 crore, but it was reported as rupees 2700 crore with the operating profit of 649 crore, which both were inflated with rupees 588 crore. Now I would like to invite Aman for to explain about the auditor's role and the factors that contributed to fraud.
Thank you,
Also,
Megha.
students, please keep the time limit also in mind.
Ma'am, shall I start?
Yeah, please, Aman.
Now I'm going to put some highlight on the role of auditor in Satyam scandal. An auditor is an authorized personnel that review and verify the accuracy of financial record uh, uh, and ensure that company obey the tax norms. Their primary objective is to protect business from frauds. PricewaterhouseCoopers affiliates serve as independent auditors of Satyam Computer Service from June 2000 until the discovery of the fraud in 2009. PwC is a multinational professional service network of firms operating as a partnership under the PwC brand. PwC brand, PwC Professional Service does audit, assurance, tax, and consulting. The Indian arm of PwC was fined $6 million by the U.S. Security and Exchange Commission for not following the code of conduct and auditing standard in the performance of his duty related to the auditing of the accounts of Satyam Computer Services. Whereas Merrill Lynch was appointed by Satyam to look for a partner or buyer for the company, discovered the fraud as part of its intelligence in merely 10 days. After the Satyam failure and the role played by PwC investor become alert of those companies who are client of PwC, which result fall in share prices. The Indian authorities arrest two of PwC auditors and charge Section 120B and 420 against them. And in 2018, Security and Exchange Board of India banned from auditing and listed company in India for 2 years. Thank you. This is from my side. Now Ayush will continue further.
Thank you, Aman. Now let us look forward upon the situation Satyam Computer have faced after the scandal. After knowing about the scandal, immediately uh, Merrill Lynch terminated its engagement with Satyam Computers. After that, the shares of Satyam Computers fell to 11.50 rupees. It was a huge setback for Satyam. Several criminal charges were brought against the Ramalingam Raju, including criminal conspiracy, breach of trust, and forgery. After that, new board members were appointed to save the company and preserve the total collapse of the firm. Indian government then asked the newly appointed members about their goals to save the company, and the common goal is to sell the company in 100 days. To accomplish the sale, the board hires two persons. One is Goldman, and second is Andrew Capital, and charge them with selling the company in the shortest time possible. The SBI appointed a retired Supreme Court Justice Barocha, to oversee the process. Several companies bid on Satyam for Satyam on April 13, 2009. The winning bid was Tech Mahindra, bought Satyam for 1.30, which approximately.
Thank you, Ayush. Now I talk about the investigation. After the investigation and revaluation of Satyam scandal fraud, various people of Satyam were charged and arrested. Indian authorities arrested Mr. Ramalinga Raju, who was the chairman and founder of Satyam, and B. Ramaraju, who was the managing director of Satyam. Indian authorities also arrested companies auditors and CFO Srinivas Valdemani on criminal charges of fraud. Under the investigation of CBI also investigated CEO overseas assets. In the US, against the Satyam, several civil charges filed by the holders of its ADRs. And according to the Institute of Chartered Accountant of India, ruled that the CFO and the auditors were guilty about professional misconduct. Now there are some victims of this fraud. First are employees. Employees are the suffer from non-payments of salaries, project cancellation, layoff standards, and in many ways like morally, financially, legally, and socially. Seconds are clients. Clients express loss of trust and receive their contracts. Customers were worried about their project continuity, confidently, and cost overrun. Third are shareholders. Shareholders lost their variable investment, and there was a doubt about the revival in India. Fourth are bankers. Bankers were concerned about recovery of financial and non-financial recovery. And fifth are Indian government. Indian government worried about their image of the nation, and IT sector affected faith to invest in business in our country. Now next let's continue with Gulshan.
Thank you so much, Siva. Now I would like to discuss issue in corporate governance. The board responsibility is to risk management and internal control. If the board does not arrange to regular meeting in the order to consider the organizational activity systematically show that in board is not meaning their responsibilities. It result in the poor system that may unable to report to and measure to the risk associated with business. Second point is reliability of finance. Second point is reliability of financial reporting and external auditor. Financial reporting and auditing issue are seen more critical to corporate governance by the investors because of their main consideration in ensuring management accountability. It is the reasons that they have been must debate and the focus of series litigations. Third point is duties of director. The corporate governance report have aimed to build on the director's duties at defined in statutory and cash law duties of directors. This includes of fiduciary duties to act in the best interest of the companies, use their power for the purpose, avoid conflict in interest of exercise a duty of care. Fourth point is shareholders right and responsibilities. Shareholders role and right in subject of particular importance. The should be informed about all this information of material to them. Information may influence their amount of investment. They should also be given the right to vote and policies affecting the governance organization. Fifth point is corporate social responsibility and business ethics. The lack mutual decision is sense of responsibility for the business and stockholders and unavoidably turn out the business ethics and social responsibility significant part of corporate governance debate. Uh, mm, Thank you, ma'am. That's from our side.